As we were wrapping up yesterday's video, I said, if you made it to the end, give me a real one in the comment section down below. These were the first 5 real ones I got in the comments, so I want to give a shout out to Loretta Fuchs, Mark Warner, Antonio Williams, Go Ravens, and Clay. Thank you guys all for watching all the way to the end of these videos. That helps us out a ton. And thanks so much for being real ones. And if you make it to the end of today's video, comment real one down below. Coming up on today's show, we've got a double dose of great news to get into for the Baltimore Ravens from the National Football League. And then on the back half, we're going to talk about what that means for the future for this organization, for this quarterback, for everybody involved in the Baltimore Ravens. Dan Graziano broke our first little bit of good news, saying that the NFL today informed teams that the 2025 per team salary cap will fall in the range of $277.5 million to $281.5 million, way up from last year's $255.4 million. And that is fantastic news for Baltimore because, as we've talked a lot about over the past few weeks, this team isn't necessarily in a great spot when it comes to their cap space, okay? Their current Spotrac projection has them at 22nd in the National Football League. That's not going to change. However, they have them listed around $8.92 million in cap space, and as the cap goes up, that number will too, meaning they have more money to spend on free agents or more money to spend on players they might trade for. And like we said recently, the projected next salary cap for 2025 is between $277 to $281 million, giving the Ravens so much more flexibility to add to what most people, myself included, believe is already a Super Bowl roster. We got the next dose of good news coming up in just a second. Before that, make sure you guys hit that sub button, okay? We are in the February long sub battle with our Steelers Talk channel right here at Chat Sports. We're only 34 subs behind them. I need to pass them because we only got 9 days left in February, okay? So to help us take down our biggest rivals, go ahead and hit that sub button. So the second part of this great news comes from Brett Coleman, okay? He tweeted this out this past week saying the salary cap is going to explode again, and it's all because of this change in how Nielsen measures ratings. Starting this year, they are leaning into using data directly from smart TV manufacturers to measure viewing habits in addition to the traditional at-home panel method. So Nielsen is changing the way they do ratings, and with that comes new negotiations with the National Football League. Bigger ratings, bigger dollars. Let's take a look on how the salary cap has changed, though, over the past 15 years because it has been substantial. You look all the way back to 2011, it was sitting at $120.375 million, took a $23 million jump in the next 5 years, a $40 or $50 million jump in the next 5 years from that, and from where it's gone from 2021 to 2025, it is increased by almost $100 million, okay? This National Football League, this league is changing every single year, and with this recent news from Brett Coleman about these new ratings, it's easy to think that it might be changing more even in the next couple of years. So what does that mean for Baltimore? Well, more cap space for the Ravens now and in the future just means that they can continue to be a sustainable winner. When you have that guy under center in Lamar Jackson, when you have your franchise quarterback, more cap space just benefits those teams because A, they can lock down their players, and then B, they'll have more money to spend on guys to surround him with, okay? So this is great news, not just how it deals with this year's cap space, but what I'm about to talk a lot about is the future for this team, for this franchise, and the money that is to come due to these new ratings, due to the new ways that they're measuring things, and hopefully the new deal that will be negotiated in the next few years. Weigh in for me before I get into that, and let me know, what should Baltimore's number one priority be with an expanded salary cap? Let me know in the comment section right now. So Brett continued on in his tweet, and basically, let's sum it up. This is what he described, okay? So the Sunday ticket on YouTube will be more accurately measured, YouTube TV that is, will be more accurately measured in this year's ratings. That number is expected to be massive given how many people in my generation, my age group, take their TV in by YouTube TV and not the traditional cable methods. Then going on to that, it's more accurate and bigger ratings mean more expensive broadcast rights, which the negotiations in 2028 and 2029, that's when the next one will be negotiated, and they're expected to take a massive jump because of these additional ratings from YouTube TV. Okay, so if this does take a massive jump, which is expected to, what does this mean for Baltimore? What can Baltimore do? Number one, you can lock down Lamar Jackson, okay? And lock him down in a massive way. I'm not just talking 5 years, $260 million like he just did. I'm talking you could create a silly contract which puts all the big money at the end of his deal, kind of like it is right now, but put that 6, 7, 8 years in the future. Look at what was made of Jalen Hurts' contract when Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, and Howie Roseman signed him to an extension, okay? Because Jeff Lurie, he agreed to the media rights deal, right? He's one of those owners. Then he goes and signs Jalen Hurts to a massive contract extension, and Hurts' numbers, his cap hits in 2028 and 2029 go from $47 million, which is a lot, to $97 million. Almost $100 million of a cap hit for Jalen Hurts, because when Jeff Lurie agreed to the new media rights deal, he said, you know what, let's just lock up this guy that we've got right now that we know is a franchise quarterback, put all the money on the back end. We'll deal with that at another time. And, they're just going to extend him, keep pushing that money back. And if you look at Lamar's cap hits, it's not $97 million, but it's a lot, okay? In 2025, it's $43.65 million. 2024, 2027, it goes up to almost $75 million. About a quarter of the entire team's salary cap. Now, I do believe that Lamar Jackson is worth that money, okay? He's worth the money that he signed. I think he's worth the money that I'm hoping this team gives him on an extension. But still, if you are a quarter of your team's salary cap at $75 million cap hit, that's a lot. It kind of hamstrings you. However, if there's a new deal after the new ratings come out and that number goes higher, he's less percentage of that cap and there's more space you can use to sign other players. So I think, number one, you got to lock down Lamar Jackson even more long-term than you already have him. Show me in the comment section down below, do you want the Ravens to extend Lamar? If so, go ahead and give me a thumbs up button on today's video. Coming up, we got 2 more reasons why an expanded salary cap will be great for the Baltimore Ravens. Before that, I got to give a massive shout out to the awesome sponsor of today's video, and that is PrizePicks. Basketball season is well underway, and PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching your favorite players. And you can now win up to 1,000 times your money on PrizePicks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly. When you play $5, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action, so join over 10 million users and sign up today. You think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week? What about Giannis? More than 35 points. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew won your game on PrizePicks. What I love so much about PrizePicks is there's so many options to choose from, right? It's not just the regular basketball, football, baseball, but if you're into boxing, if you're into darts, if you're into basketball, you can combine all those 3 things, and you know what? Make your PrizePicks your own. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need a win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, run your game. So more money to Lamar in this new expanded cap space even means less of a cap hit for Lamar, which means more money for other players. And what I feel like this should mean for Baltimore is I think it means that they should and can be aggressive even in this offseason if they don't feel like they have a lot of cap space to go get an edge rusher, a game-changing edge rusher at that, and shore up this defense and, fill in some holes that were there when it came to the postseason. So some possible edge rusher trade targets. We've talked about these guys before. Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and Trey Hendrickson. Okay, each of these 3 guys, they don't just change the trajectory of games. They change the trajectory of seasons. And every single one of those guys, they want a new contract, okay? And so if you feel like in 3, because 2028, I know it's surprising, it's only 3 years away at this point, but if they feel like in just 3 years, there's going to be an expanded salary cap, why not give up some assets, trade for one of the 3 of those guys, sign them to a 3 or 4 year deal, do what you've done to Lamar Jackson, put a lot of money on the back end of that when you know that there's going to be somewhat of a new salary cap, a bigger salary cap, and let's just get one of those guys in purple and gold because they've had unreal careers. I don't think any one of them are stopping soon. And we've talked about this before, and we've shown you this graphic before. But guys, this pass rush, when it came time to be the clutchest they could be, in the playoff game against Buffalo, they disappeared. 1 sack, 0 quarterback hits, only 6 pressures, and a quarterback pressure percentage of 26.1. Only a quarter of the time, a quarter of Josh Allen's dropbacks was he feeling any sort of pressure. It was a lot of this for Josh. Boom. Just a lot of waiting, a lot of scanning, and a lot of delivering to open receivers because he felt no heat around him, okay? You need this guy. You need any 3 of those guys. You need this position. You need something different. And if you can bet and feel comfortable on a different financial situation in years to come, then you should use this as the ability and the opportunity to go get a guy who can change your team, okay? So what say you? You want the Ravens to trade for an edge rusher? Let me know in the comment section down below. Give me a yes. Give me a no. You know my answer now. I want to know yours. Number 3, I think it's going to be time next offseason to possibly use this as an excuse to find an elite wide receiver, okay? I love Zay Flowers. I love Rashad Bateman. I like Nelson Aguilar, but those 2 guys at the top, Flowers and Bateman, are guys that I really, really have a lot of faith in, and I really, really love the fact that they're the go-to guys on this team. But I do believe that in 2025, we're going to figure out a lot about Zay Flowers, okay? I think we're going to figure out after this year if he is a true, without a doubt, wide receiver 1 in this league, okay? And if at the end of next year you don't believe that he is, then you know what? Do the same thing you're going to do with Lamar. Go make an offer that any of these guys can't refuse, okay? These are pending free agents come 2026. Obviously, we don't know in 2026 if they will be free agents. I know a lot of those guys like Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase will possibly be looking for contract extensions this upcoming offseason. But as of right now, these are 3 guys set to be free agents in 2026. Offer them something they can't refuse, okay? Because when you look at the numbers, they're putting up yards, they're putting up touchdowns. Jamar Chase especially, although he has been in this league a lot longer than Garrett Wilson and Drake London. But they're putting up numbers that Zay Flowers, although I believe he's great, I don't know if he can do that, okay? Just because of the type of wide receiver that he is. I don't know if he has the ability to be that, you know what, end of the game, 4th quarter, 4th down, everyone in the building knows it's going to you, and you still can get open, and you still can make that play, okay? I think 2025 is going to show us a lot. And with an expanded salary cap, with more money to work with, I think you can throw a contract at any of these guys, do the same thing you might do with Lamar Jackson, put a bunch of money on the end of it, and say, let's just, over the next 3 years, be in ultra win now mode, okay? And go give any of those guys big money. You've got the quarterback. You believe you have Derrick Henry. At least we know under contract for the next year, contract extension pending for him, so the next couple years most likely. You've got the guys on that team. You've got the most important position. Go get him some talent around him. Act like you're in win now mode. Take advantage of the likelihood of this salary cap going up. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Okay, again, remember, end of February, the sub battle with the Steelers is done, okay? I want to win it. I have to win it. I need you guys to help me to do so. So if you haven't already, subscribe.